All right, everybody, welcome to LockPod, Midwest's most dangerous podcast, Season 10, Episode 5, brought to you by Cantrell and Cantrell, attorneys at law. When you're facing legal challenges or injuries, they're here to guide you through the process. Their dedicated team, including John and Kristen Cantrell, is in the court and at the jail every day, fighting for your rights to party and your constitutional rights. Call John Cantrell at 219-554-4LAW. That's 219-554-4529, or visit their website at bettercallcantrell.com. Discover how they can make a difference in your case. Welcome to the studio. We're compassless today, but we got Phil Talon.
Good morning.
What's your nickname? PRT, that's what I call you.
Some people call me Filthy Rich, even though I don't have any money.
That makes sense. How come?
It's just a...
Because it's not because of your great betting.
No. It's a nickname I got back in the day. It's stuck.
Filthy Rich. I know how
it's ironic because I'm poor, so.
Filthy Rich? That is a good nickname.
Yeah. It's my... I know I shouldn't say this, but I know like websites when you got to put like some fake
Your
names.
password?
Filthy, it's not my password.
Your password's Filthy Rich. Is that with the capital T?
I can't share my password with you.
It's your birthday.
Filthy Rich 69.
Filthy Rich 69.
Did you win that bet, by the way? Your NFL pick?
No.
Let's not talk about that.
No.
John. Let's start off on a good note.
Happened?
Oh, my God.
Morning, Joe.
Hey,
How's it going?
it's all right.
I love it when Jill's department gives us LockPod material, John, don't you?
It doesn't happen often.
It does today, though. That's the great thing. We're going to talk a little Frank Sinatra impersonator, which was Jill's awesome show. Controversy.
Amazing.
I
Welcome
love
to
controversy.
2023.
Is this going to draw more people to the future shows at the PAV?
I hope so.
That's good.
Anytime you get controversy and you're on page 3 of the Times in a big, and by the way, a former LockPodder with the story with Jerry Davis.
I mean, in fairness, the Times is only 5 pages at this point.
No, it was a whole bunch of pages, but it was on page 3. It was a whole bunch of pages. And it was a big story, big enough story that it went to 2 pages, Jill.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Your department.
Wow.
So we're going to talk a little Jill's department, which is going to be fun. Jay Vez had a story wreck. I threw it in there. How freaking open-minded of me.
First time in 10 seasons.
Dude, season 20, John, look forward to it.
Kevin's gone, and I feel like everything's coming together with the LockPod.
Yeah, man.
Everybody's participating. There's all kinds of fun.
It makes you wonder whether we need a compass or not.
That's a good point.
It's honestly, I looked at the show notes. Best show notes I've seen in a long, maybe ever. And it was sans Kevin. So.
Are you saying Kevin's the moral compass of this show? Is that where you're going with that?
I don't know. It's just a good nickname for him. It really is. He was an Eagle Scout, so it fits.
Yep.
Right? Compass, how often is Kevin not telling us where to go or
100%
what to do?
of the time.
Right?
Absolutely.
He's always the guy telling us where to go or what to do.
Yeah.
So, and then Rose Kennedy came up with the perfect nickname for Kevin Smith, the Compass.
For sure.
We dropped it last show at the end. I know you guys were tuning out when we were dropping it, but I unveiled Kevin's new nickname.
Okay.
So we're ditching the Caboose.
Well, they both start with C.
The Caboose was just not sexy. I don't think it was. It was so unsexy. He put his real name on the back of the shirt.
Are you saying the Compass is sexy?
Yeah.
I don't know. That
Compass
feels
could be.
unsexy.
Kevin the
as well.
Compass? It's like they're saying it rolls out. Kevin the Compass Smith.
I don't
It's like
know.
he should have a show on PBS or something. Like Thomas the Tank Engine.
Thomas the Tank, Kevin the Compass. But
Yeah.
I think it's way better than Kevin the Caboose, right?
I don't know. I feel like
I don't know.
they're both equally boring.
The
But-
Caboose, I picture like a
Kevin is
frumpy old
boring,
lady's
though.
butt.
Yeah.
I don't picture Kevin like strapping Kevin. I picture
No, that's
some
for
like
sure.
old lady.
It fits, but if you're trying to like draw more people to the LockPod, you'd be like, "Come join the locomotive and the compass."
Yeah, man, that works.
Somebody's like, "I want to know about this compass."
You know he's listening right now, right?
Of course he
Oh
is.
my God, he's tore up that he's not on there right now.
Come back, Kevin.
Phil, real quick. Someone wants to know your pick, Ohio State or Notre Dame.
Well, for sure, I'm going to go with Notre Dame just because I'm a Notre Dame.
Do you think Notre
Dame
Dame's going to win?
to win? Yes, I do.
Wow,
I do, and I'll
There
tell
you
you
go.
this. I think they.
I'm going to
were-
go with Ohio State. for the bet.
Okay.
If I were betting, I'm not betting anymore because I
What's
lost
the
it.
line?
I think it's Ohio State by 3. Last I heard.
Okay, so then you're giving me the 3 if we're going by.
I'm not betting you. I
Oh.
think you're wrong though. Which I hope you're right.
Jeff
I'm a Notre
Riddle,
Dame
you make
fan.
your own
Yeah.
choice.
Why people keep
Split
talking about
decision.
Hartman winning the Heisman?
I don't think he's going to win the Heisman because it's going to boil down to whether or not he has a great team, and his team is above average.
Okay,
It'll end up like I think ND will end up in like number 10, number 12.
so it's the same as every year. We're always in like the top 4,
Yeah.
top 5,
Yeah.
and then they get there and they get blown out.
We're a
by
little
someone.
soft. I saw it. I saw it when we played NC State. Man, we went on the road. It was a hostile atmosphere, and they did not respond in the first half at all. And we came back in the second half and beat them down just because we were a better team. But it was a hostile environment, and we did not look. We didn't look like a dominating team. And I think that if you're a dominating team, regardless of where you go, you dominate. And
Teams have been known to overlook current teams because next week they have a big game. That's what was going on.
All right, I hope you're right.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah.
Are you tired?
Yeah,
Like you seemed a little tired during the intro.
Screw
song.
you! I look like crap or something.
No.
I am a
saying
little
you-
tired.
Put the filter on.
What's that?
Put the filter.
Put
Do
the
we have a
filter
filter
on.
for that?
No.
They have a filter.
No, I slept. I think I looked at my ring score this morning. It was in the 60s. It wasn't, which is not high.
Whoa.
It's like 100 is a max. I was like bouncing around. Plus, I like jacked my neck up. But I don't know. I snore a little bit. So like sometimes, if I drink, and I had a couple drinks last night, so I was probably snoring a little. Probably driving my wife nuts. She has to wear like earplugs and stuff.
You know what they say is good for snoring, or it's a sign of. You
Yeah.
need a CPAP machine.
I would like to get laid again one day in the future, John.
Whoa,
Like,
whoa.
I can't find anything less attractive for Marissa than being like, honey, come over to my side of the bed. Join the dark side, Marissa.
If it stops the snoring, she might be supportive of this.
She
I
might
am
be.
not wearing a CPAP.
Not happening?
I'd rather
Never.
choke to death on my tongue than.
Can you at least like
Wow.
bring one into podcast, try it on, and show everybody what you'll look
Oh
like?
my
CPAP?
God, that'd be great.
And
Yes.
shotgun a beer.
And then we'll send a picture to Marissa and ask her if it turns her on.
Yes.
Does this turn you on?
Yes. There's a whole.
I don't snore anymore, but I look like this.
There's a comedian coming to Horseshoe named Joe Coy, and he does a whole segment about the CPAP machine. And I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah?
I know it's a family show, but
No, you can give it away.
He
He's not
calls
going to
it.
use it again.
He calls it ghost dick because it looks like you're. It looks like you're doing something in the middle of the night,
Oh yeah.
and there's nobody by you. So anyhow, I'm not going to say too much more.
All right. I don't.
Wow.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to visualize. I don't really get it, but
He's got to bring it in, right,
Okay.
John? He's got to bring one in. and try it out.
100%.
Okay, we're on the same
100%.
page.
I don't have one.
You-
so
I was gonna
that's
say,
the
you
problem.
have one?
No, because I was like, no, I do not have one, and I'm not planning to buy one because I don't think they're super cheap. Hey, instead of talking about my sex life and what I look like with CPAP, let's talk about Jill's problem. It's much more.
Jill, what you do?
Interesting.
What did you do?
Let me lay the groundwork here, everybody. All right, so Jill is during the summer. I mean, she's always special events coordinator for the Port Authority, which is very active. Port Authority is the whole northern part of our city. It's where our entertainment district is, and Jill's in charge of the PAV, which is very popular. This summer,
We're a district now?
yeah, I just brought that
Okay.
out. Nice,
Okay.
yeah, the entertainment district.
I'm
Congratulations!
gonna
Put it
use
on your
that.
resume. It's really good, right?
Am I getting a
I just,
raise for that?
I just made it up. No, actually, but it's a good title change. I thought it would help you.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Great.
The entertainment district that Jill's in charge of. Doesn't that sound good?
Congratulations,
sounds
Jill.
really good.
Wow.
That's
Hammond's
amazing.
Entertainment
I need
District.
new business cards
But like,
that I don't pass out.
but Jill, in her role as entertainment district coordinator, hired this Frank Sinatra impersonator. He's been coming for a long time, right, Jill?
This was his 10th year.
And he's got a built-in crowd. Mm-hmm. Is it the biggest crowd out of the whole summer that you do? Is it one of the biggest?
Yeah, definitely.
How many people are there?
600, 700?
And it's not like nighttime show. Like if you go to a show in Vegas at like 600 people, holy shit! By the way, that's a great show, right?
Well, and I was there too
right?
with my family.
You were there.
Okay.
You got to experience this.
I was part of
controversy.
this, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you realize it was a big deal when it happened?
I didn't realize it was a big deal. I knew that some people were going to be upset.
Okay.
That's all.
So here we are. So
There we are.
600 people. There's what's the demographic? Is it older? I imagine it's
Mostly
Frank Sinatra,
older.
right?
Mostly older.
Okay.
Yes.
And this dude is solid. He's been coming for 10 years, so he's comfortable with the crowd. He's comfortable with Jill. He's comfortable with the PAV. He's been doing it a long time. He's got 600 people, and like Frank Sinatra, he wants to talk to the audience between songs. Is that fair?
Yeah, you could say that. He interacts with them.
He interacts, and he's acting like Frank Sinatra when he's doing this, or is he acting like himself?
I mean, he doesn't say I'm Frank Sinatra, but he certainly is trying to maybe put some jokes in or whatever that Frank Sinatra would potentially.
And he's singing Frank Sinatra songs. He's dressed up in a tux,
For sure.
right?
Yeah,
So he's
absolutely.
trying to play it off. Like,
Absolutely.
This is like an evening of like you're watching Frank Sinatra.
Yeah. Close your eyes.
Right.
You don't know if it's me
Did he
or
sound
really.
like him?
When he was singing, yes. When he was talking, no.
Jill, you agree?
Agree.
Okay. So like he sounds like Frank, looks similar, nice setup, singing Frank songs, all the Frank stuff. Wants to talk between the songs, right?
Now, one thing though, Tom, is that yes, it's an older crowd, but there's a lot of us that did bring children because we want to sit there and relax. Let the
I was
kids go
impressed
play.
you went, being honest with you, because I didn't think that would. It's really like
Same.
because I mean, all due respect to Frank Sinatra, I just don't get into it that much personally, and I'm 54. I figure I'm too young personally at 54 to be into it. I know some people my age that are into it, but like for the most part, I think Frank Sinatra's fans are at least a decade older than me.
Any music at if you're a music fan, any group at the PAV, you go out, you bring chairs, you BYOB, you relax. It's a beautiful. You got the lake behind you. You got the
Good
Chicago
job
skyline.
selling the city. I appreciate it.
100%.
Right. Look at that.
It's a real bump to the
Tom's
district.
just saying you're more of a Miley
It's a real
Cyrus
bump for the
fan.
district.
That's true, though.
What's that?
You were just saying Phil's more of like a Miley Cyrus kind of guy, not a Frank
I pictured
Sinatra.
Miley Cyrus for sure,
Like
but
a
I think part of the reason Phil's out there is he has a son and he's out there with other parents and they were bringing their kids.
My
so-
dad was there.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
Well, he has kids too. I don't know if you knew that.
I did. He's only got
Yeah.
one that's important, but yeah, there's
it
a
fits
few
in.
others.
It fits in with my. So anyway, so the problem with America nowadays, in my opinion, because I'm a guy that tries to make jokes, and people aren't funny. People don't want you to be funny anymore. They don't want politicians to be funny. I know that. So like that's why I'm so boring.
Is that why?
Yeah, I made the fart joke. The fart joke was great, and it took off, and people got really pissed off about the fart joke. Remember that one?
I don't.
Yeah, it was the crop dusting guy on the elevator. I got in right after him.
Oh, yes.
And I was like, "Oh my god!"
And they were mad at you.
Yeah, because
You tweeted about it.
I tweeted about it. It went viral, and people were pissed.
And you got banned from Twitter shortly thereafter.
I think it's related.
You got X'd from.
I got
X.
axed from X.
But no
right.
matter what you do, there's always going to be one or two people that are pissed, so it doesn't matter.
Right. Well, in this case, he'd made some jokes, and they were racial jokes.
Yep.
So he's like a white guy, black guy, and a Hispanic guy. Those types of jokes.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
An Asian guy does this, and a Mexican guy does this. He's doing
Yes.
jokes like that.
Yes, 100%. That's
Which
what
is pretty damn ballsy. Let's be honest. Especially like I think it's not ballsy if you're at like Horseshoe at the venue. Everybody's getting drunk. It's like 11 o'clock at night. You're watching a comedian. I don't think it's as ballsy there, right? Jill?
nowadays you do it anywhere. You say anything. I mean,
Well, the comedians get away with it.
Just shut your
so
mouth.
what's the difference? When can you make a joke like that? So basically, his joke was, and it was in a newspaper. So he says, white guy, black guy, and
Japanese
guy go to heaven or something. And
Yep.
one guy is asked to spell dog to get into heaven. The other guy is asked to spell dog to get into heaven. The third guy is asked to spell Czechoslovakia to get into heaven, right?
right.
Obviously, some people don't know how to spell Czechoslovakia. I count myself in that group.
Put me in that category.
Right? So, like,
Yep.
that's the
Same.
joke. And we didn't do it the way he did it, and he was doing it with accents and stuff like that. And it made the newspaper. And it pissed some people off. As soon as I got back to work, I'm like, damn, what the hell happened at Jill's thing this weekend? I got some complaints. And
Fire this chick.
no,
She's
the
not in charge
entertainment-
of the district
I
anymore.
promoted you in charge of the entertainment district shortly thereafter. So,
But I wouldn't say that all comedians get away with it anymore. If you remember Kramer from Seinfeld, I can't remember what's his real name. He made some comments.
no, but that was straight
Well,
racist.
he was saying the
that was straight
N-word
racist. Yeah,
Right.
that was
over
straight
and over and
racist.
over.
That was straight racist.
Okay, what
I don't
about-
think that's
he had
funny.
a breakdown.
What about
Yeah.
the comedian Kathy something where she
Yeah.
had Trump's head?
I was even mad at her for that.
remember?
Yeah,
And
where
she-
it was cut off, and,
And
she was holding
she
the
was
bloody.
blacklisted after that. She couldn't get a gig
Yeah,
after that.
she's still been canceled.
Yeah.
That was pretty. I honestly.
Was she though? Hasn't she been on like the New Year's Eve
Dude.
CNN thing?
Yeah, she is on that. But honestly, though, she's lame anyway. She sucked all
She's
the time.
crazy. She's
and
a
I'm a
lunatic.
Democrat, and I'm like, dude, get out of here. That is such over the top bullshit. And she's not doing. She's doing it because she wants to improve her career. It wasn't
Sure.
because of,
Yeah.
But it wasn't racism, right? So that was just making a point that comedians, you got to be careful what you do nowadays. And
Isn't Amy Schumer in trouble right now for something
Oh,
she
I
did
didn't hear
recently?
this. I did not
Could
hear
you look it up
Oh,
real quick?
yes.
It was
Amy
stupid, too.
Schumer criticized Nicole Kidman's the way she was
Oh, yeah.
sitting at
Yeah.
the U.S. Open.
And she did it on. And Amy Schumer's straight up comedian, hilarious. I love her. She tweeted it. And she said, "Could Nicole Kidman sit any less human like?"
Right.
And it was a funny how she was sitting. She was all like off kilter and
contorted?
yeah. She was watching a tennis game, so she was all like, she looked like an alien. And Amy like put it out, and she's being funny. And then everybody started attacking her, like you were attacking her looks and blah blah.
Yes.
And
How
Amy's
dare
like,
you.
relax, everybody. I think Nicole Kidman's gorgeous. I'm just trying to be funny because I'm a goddamn comedian. You know, that's what comedians do. They make you laugh. You know,
We do have a problem like this in our country. It's not just our country, I'm sure, but where everybody takes offense to everything now.
Everything.
It doesn't matter what you do,
I hate
you're going to
it.
be in trouble. This guy, the only thing I will tell you, I went there for the Sinatra show. He's making some jokes. I was sitting there thinking, this isn't really the exact time and venue to be.
little kids are running around playing catch with balls. And,
Yes.
and he's talking about like, different races.
Yeah.
It was like it was dumb. I think it was a dumb move on his part.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mad. I want him to come back next year.
Sure.
Just don't drop the racial jokes.
No.
Or like just try to be funny without being racially insensitive.
And you know what? The lady who said in the newspaper, "Hey, I was going to walk out." Guess what?
She should have walked out.
Don't come next year if you don't
Don't
like
come
this,
next
gentleman.
year. It's
That's
okay.
fine.
Don't
Right?
run to the Times.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Run to the
Even get
friggin'
to the
Times.
Times.
Times needs good stories, man. There's a good story for the Times. People might subscribe to it when they read shit like this.
But we can
Speaking
also, yeah, go ahead.
I
What?
was going to say, like, so they posted this on Facebook, the Times.
Yeah.
Tons of comments. Like, it went
Yeah.
viral.
See, that's how they live.
There,
This is
I
what
can't find one comment really in support. It just, I love the show. Everyone was laughing. I'm Latino. I was at the show. I thought it was great. The jokes were funny.
Jill's like, there's
Over
600
and
people at
over.
the show. There's like thousands of people. I was at the show on Facebook.
Yep.
I'm Mexican and not offended. Sorry to disappoint. Yeah. So, you know what I think, guys? This may be unpopular. I don't think we make fun of each other enough.
I agree
know?
with you, John.
Wow.
I think we need to chill out, laugh
Chill
a little
the
bit. I
fuck
think we were
out,
closer when we made fun of each other.
Dude, like, I used to talk to Republicans when I first became mayor. Like, we would go out and get drunk and,
Yes.
and have fun in Indianapolis, and it turned toxic. I'm trying to, when it started becoming less like that, I'm not going to say Trump either, John. I know you're getting ready for me to say 2016. It was like 2010 when things changed. And they gerrymandered the hell out of Indiana, and it was like we were enemies, and that was it.
But this is a social media thing for sure, because now
Yeah.
you've got
There's a whole different audience.
yeah,
obviously.
there's a small group of people that ruin everything. As soon as
Well,
something
social media
happens-
is super woke anyway, right?
Well, right, but that's where these woke people can get on a stage and tell everybody that they're doing something wrong.
Exactly.
I'm sick
It's
of it.
years of people telling us what we can think, what we can't, what we can laugh at, what's offensive, what's not. It's crazy.
Yep.
Stupid.
And we're going to talk about this a little bit more, kind of related with the soccer coach, Spanish soccer coach.
Yeah, let's
who
go there.
who had to resign.
Well, we're doing that. Yeah,
Yep.
This is a good story. This is that's coming after the
it's
break.
coming up.
But,
Stick around.
but Jill, so I mean, are you? I don't know how you feel about this. I know you were embarrassed as the director of the district. I like this. I like
love
this new
it.
title.
I love
I
it.
gave Kevin a new title last week. That's your district
Yeah.
director, entertainment district director.
Wow.
That's good stuff.
Wow.
You know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how do you feel about that? I know I heard that you were like upset a little bit after the show because you probably knew it was going to make the paper, make the media.
Well, I talked to him after, and I just basically said, we're not doing this again next year. Like, wrong time, wrong place. You're coming back.
What do you
but
mean? We're not doing,
Jokes.
yeah?
So you said this.
you can't make jokes.
No fun next year.
Shut your mouth and sing
But,
my
what
way.
if he, like,
But here's the thing.
how about like racial jokes? I don't want, like, because I feel like you might be stifling the guy's creativity a little. I mean, you've seen 10 of his shows, though, right?
this is the first time he's ever tried to crack a joke like this, I believe.
Oh, yeah?
But so, like, you come expecting a certain show,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I want. That's what we paid for.
Okay, let me ask you a question. So let's say you hire a Kiss impersonator, the band, right? And they come and they don't got the makeup. You're like, dude, I want you to wear the makeup, right? Like, this is a Kiss impersonator. They're like, okay, I'll wear the makeup next time, right? Because we're going to come out there. I want you to spit fire, do the whole thing like Kiss, right? I don't know. You're freaking watching a Sinatra impersonator, and he's talking to the audience, which is what he did.
Well-
and he was like improper because it was like the 60s and the 70s, and people weren't woke. They weren't politically correct then.
The crux of the one joke that you even brought up about spell God, and then the black person comes up and they say spell Czechoslovakia.
Czechoslovakia,
It's like implying that God didn't want the black person to get in heaven.
Right, right.
So it becomes this,
Which was it's not sensitive.
it's sensitive to people, right? Certain
It's not sensitive. It's insensitive.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So I guess what like from people like who I don't want to be weird, but people who aren't racist, it's like, okay, this guy's trying to make a joke. He's trying to pretend like he's Frank Sinatra from a long time ago. But yeah, there's going to be certain people who are going to get offended. It's just
course.
always going to be that way.
Why don't we just like assume that people are going to be offended and let's just deal with it? Like it was Chris Jones put something, and I like Chris Jones. He's a friend of mine, and he put something up I thought was genius, and it was a quote from another comedian,
Ricky Gervais, my favorite
Thank you.
comedian.
Who's smart as hell,
Amazing.
right?
Brilliant.
And
Awesome.
Ricky Gervais
and one of the most
said,
offensive in many people's eyes.
and so like they said, hey, Ricky Gervais said, I'm interpreting. He said, I got off the stage one time and somebody came up to me, to Ricky Gervais, and said, hey, you offended me with that joke. And he said, I don't give a shit.
Right.
And the guy's like, he goes, offense is subjective. Like, that's like saying my knee hurts. If Phil says my knee hurts, I don't give a shit, right? Because that's your problem, right? So like when you say, hey, you offended me, isn't it the same thing? I think it is. It's like, I don't give a shit. You were offended by that, but I'm not, right? It's like subjective.
Yep. Well, he also
100%.
ties into what John's saying, which is, we're just trying to make people laugh a little
Yes.
bit. It's just take it easy, take it light. Don't take everything so sensitively and seriously. And so you're right. Yeah. 100%.
Speaking of sore knees, what's up? What's up with your face, man? You got all jacked up.
I had a little
Dude,
injury.
Phil's got a black eye. Look
Wait a
at
minute.
Joe. Look
What
at
a
Joe.
segue.
The segue.
It was a good. No, I
Did you
looked
say
at
sore
Phil.
knees?
I was like, if
Yes.
Phil has a hurt knee, and I looked at him, I'm like, what the hell did you do to your face, man?
So there was a
You had like a big. It looks like somebody punched you in the right eye.
grand opening last night for a trampoline park.
Yeah, I went. It was awesome. I went down the slide.
awesome.
It was scary.
It's amazing. It's gonna be great. By the way, it's in Hammond.
You're up in the rafters of the place, and you like slide in it. Like it's not a slide to the ground. It like drops you in the air, and you like fall.
Oh my
So it like
gosh.
shoots you, and then you fall into like an air mattress. It's so cool.
And they're
Like,
very
things like that.
straightforward in that they tell you this is built for 6 to 12-year-olds, right?
Yeah, kids that are like 35 to 50 pounds.
Right.
I don't think you're in that category.
I'm not.
You're like 50 something,
Yes.
and you're like 200 plus.
No.
No, you're in that ballpark.
I take offense to that. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't care.
I have a,
See how this
That's your
works?
problem,
I don't give a
Phil.
shit. Isn't that great?
So I went down the slide and I went head first because I wanted to be cool and show my son that I could do this. And
He was so proud.
scraped my face across the mat. And
Really?
there's
You were
the-
bleeding?
I have a picture.
Oh
of
my
this.
God! Look
Yeah.
at your face. You're bleeding.
There's me
Was
bleeding.
Nate proud when you came up?
Nate it was Carter, my
Nate,
8-year-old.
what am I saying? Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Nate's in college right now.
Yeah, yeah.
So Carter-
Nate would laugh.
Is
Carter,
this?
Carter was like, "Dad, you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah."
That would be
Carter, I'm
that'd be
fine."
messed up
Say
if you were bringing Nate to the Ninja Park opening,
Well,
right?
Nate would have fun too, though. Let's be honest. There was some
I
cool
had
stuff
fun.
for older people there.
Dude, it was super cool.
Yeah.
They had a basketball court with trampolines.
Yes.
So like,
So
Oh,
I
that's
could finally,
awesome.
I could finally
the
dunk.
whole court is trampoline. So you're like, bing, bing,
Yes.
like slam dunking, shooting. It's awesome.
Fun. It's a lot of fun. So
They're
just thought
going
this
to have
was
like a
fun.
league there. They said.
oh, I'm sure.
What?
Yeah.
Nice.
You know, they're going to have exercise classes there because a lot of older people like to jump on the trampoline. Dude, that's a workout,
What are you
man.
trying to say, dude? You're like
I mean,
stereotyping old people.
maybe
That's
you should,
offensive.
maybe you should
I
take a
know,
class.
dude. Like old people are getting pissed right now. They're gonna like turn lockpot off.
I apologize to everybody who was offended by any comment that I've made.
Hey Phil, when you come on, like just stick to the facts,
Okay,
all
I'm
right?
sorry.
Don't be like freelancing and pissing off
Where's
old
the
people.
compass when we need them?
Like, Psh, Phil, you cannot say that on the podcast.
So Phil, how
Views
did,
expressed
how
on
did
this
you
podcast are Phil's and Phil's alone.
how did you break skin? You go down the slide and you land on an air mattress. Was there a hard surface?
So these air mattresses, they're brand new, right? They just opened. They literally opened this Saturday. They're not even open yet. This was a soft opening.
Okay.
They're so new that they haven't been broken in yet, so they're still just a little harder. And so when your face like goes across one,
Oh, why
it'll-
did you go face down?
I'm cool, John.
I want to see the security footage of this. This sounds hilarious.
I'm cool,
John,
John.
I'm cool. I mean, what do you want me to
cool.
tell you?
All right.
Did you feel cool when you're bleeding in front of?
I did
in front of
not.
Hardy?
I did not. And honestly, I felt weird in front of the trampoline park guys because I didn't want them to like. I didn't want them to
Their
feel
grand
bad.
opening, you're like limping up, bleeding.
The chief of
Ambulance.
staff just destroyed their business in one day. I'm like, no, it's awesome. I love the place. I'm going to be taking my son there all the time.
Phil is way above the advised weight limit.
Yes.
That's what caused this problem.
absolutely true.
200 plus pounds. is
And
not
you
supposed-
did it, but you went feet first.
Yeah.
and
No,
you-
I went head first, asshole.
Did you really?
He's like, I'm cool. I go head first. But Tom went feet first.
I thought you did.
No.
You went.
I
head
have it
first?
on tape. buddy.
Okay.
I have it on tape. I'll prove
right.
it to you.
Mine's on tape too, by the way.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah, Christy's got it.
Oh, that's going to be great.
So
We're going to drop it.
We'll get that.
All right. So we're going to do some ads. And when we come back, we're going to talk about fake news. I haven't said that in a long time on this show.
Yeah,
We got some fake news. We're going to talk about front page fake news.
I like that.
And then after that, we're going to talk about President of Spanish soccer. This is a good story. It's right in John. The rest of the show is really like right up John's alley.
That's why he's excited about
For
it.
once.
It's about woke. It's about, the
Yeah.
government out of control. It's good stuff. John Vesmar's sweet spot.
Yep.
So you guys are going to like the rest of the show.
There we go.
All right, let's go.
Who?
Go for it. Calumet.
I want to be the. I'll start like the Compass would. Cantrell and Cantrell.
No,
oh,
no,
you
no,
did
no,
that
no,
one.
no, yeah.
Calumet Brewing.
Yeah.
Bush Light.
The compass wouldn't mess up.
Did
No,
you
he
get a
won't.
concussion yesterday?
Yeah,
I
right.
might be. There was blood. Bush Light, the coldest and smoothest light lager, is calling you to embrace the great outdoors, the roar of NASCAR, and the joy of cracking a cold one. Celebrate life's moments with Bush Light, and then head over to Cal Brew on Facebook or Instagram for a chance to win a Bush Light Igloo cooler. Sweeps are running through September. Visit Busch.com and their social media pages for exciting updates and events. Head for the mountain of Busch Light and enjoy beers and cheers responsibly.
We just found footage of Phil on the slide.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
We're going to
boy.
see it.
Here
We'll come back. We'll play it. You got this one, Joe?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Anybody just jump in at any time.
Yeah, it's
just
all right.
anybody.
For decades, the Ron J. Prestmer Insurance Agency has been your trusted neighbor right on Indianapolis Boulevard, serving all your insurance needs. The wide range of insurance products and services, including auto, home, business, and life insurance, has helped over 1,000 individuals and businesses throughout Chicagoland and the Midwest. Call Ron or Ronnie today at 219-844-0103. They're here to protect what matters most to you.
Byway Brewing is a family-friendly microbrewery, welcomes you to their spacious taproom and outdoor patio. Enjoy award-winning craft beers, a chef-driven menu, and craft draft cocktails. Their unique brewing equipment and production facility provides a perfect backdrop for private events, whether it's a bridal shower, reunion, or a corporate party. With their new food truck, they can cater your corporate and private events off-site. Customer service is our top priority at Byway Brewing. Just off 8094 at the Kennedy Avenue South exit. Discover more at bywaybrewing.beer.
Are you currently navigating complex legal challenges? Unsure of where to turn for guidance? Your search ends here with Caucus Law, your trusted partner for legal solutions in Indiana and Illinois. Whether you're seeking expert representation for real estate transactions, need assistance in forming your business, or have experienced a personal injury at work or in a car crash, Caucus Law is here for you. No matter the nature of your legal issue, their team is ready to help. Call Caucus Law today at 219-671-6347 to schedule your free consultation. Hablamos Español. Oh, that's from my neighbor.
Oh, yeah?
That
I
was
love
my
it.
neighbor. Yeah.
Thank you for it. I love
Richard, my my neighbor, who's he's a avid. He watches every single podcast.
Thank you, Richard.
And
We love you.
he'll call me afterwards and be like, "Hey, here's what I liked about what Tom and Kevin were
Thank
saying."
you,
And,
Richard. We
yeah.
love you.
Yeah, he's
We should have like a handy little slogan like Nanu Nanu or something like that when we see each other.
yeah.
Something based off of Lockpod. We
You
gotta
guys
work
want
on
to do a
it.
secret handshake or
Nanu
something?
Nanu, that's like
That's
Mork
not
and Mindy.
Lockpod.
Yeah.
That's not Lockpod, but something along those lines.
God rest his soul.
Yeah. All right, so we're back. Am we? Dude, yeah, we are back, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, just making sure.
Wait a minute, are we gone?
Yeah. I got a phone call. I've been hearing some scuttlebutt lately, okay?
Yeah.
A friend of mine and a former guest on Lockpod, Lake County Sheriff, right? Oscar Martinez. He's a friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And in my opinion, I'm a voter and I'm a mayor, but I'm a voter. I'm speaking as a voter here. I think Oscar's a damn good sheriff. I think he's excellent at his job. He reminds me of my first chief of police, Brian Miller. That's who Oscar reminds me of. And everybody loved Brian Miller. And Oscar and Brian are like the same person. That's why I love him so much. And by the way, I'm a big fan of Brian Miller also. Okay.
Yep.
So when I supported Oscar for sheriff, I was super happy to do so because I've seen his type, of police officer before, and I thought he'd be great in his role. And I think he's done a great job. He has gotten marred up in politics, though. And there's we've talked about this before. He is being charged with a felony right now over a traffic offense.
Right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, it literally is a traffic offense. In a serious traffic offense, it was like driving 90 on, I don't even know if it's a state highway. Is it a state highway over there, Main Street?
It's 45 miles per hour speed limit.
And he was driving twice that in his sheriff's vehicle after hours, like midnight, 11 o'clock, something like that. I don't know if that's the exact time, but it was after hours. And another officer follows him from another department, and the sheriff allegedly, this is all, I wasn't there, so allegedly the sheriff puts his lights on to indicate, hey, I'm a police car driving 90 miles an hour, and it's 11 o'clock at night. And the officer who is trying to pull him over realizes that's a police car, it's unmarked, and then terminates the pursuit.
Right.
Stops following him. And then the car that's going 90 keeps going, basically it was heading north on, towards 30. The other Crown Point officer breaks off. And then a couple hours later, they realized they were chasing the sheriff's car. So they start looking for this car an hour or so later, sometime later. Let's just say that.
Okay.
And they found that car in a bar. So they start doing research. And basically, in my opinion, politics starts getting involved. This is Tom speaking. Okay.
Yes.
Politics gets involved, and this traffic offense gets recommended to the Indiana State Police to be pursued criminally. Like he was resisting, like he was fleeing from law enforcement. And this is where the politics takes over. All right. A special prosecutor is appointed, which is not common, but a special prosecutor is appointed, which is a gentleman from outside the county, and they indict the Lake County Sheriff, Oscar Martinez, of this traffic offense, like he was fleeing from a cop. And when in fact the cop broke off the termination, and it's agreed upon. This is part of the evidence. The cop literally said, once I saw the lights, I broke off. He didn't pursue, right? So how are you fleeing? So our Lake County Sheriff is under, criminal indictment, is fighting for his life because if he's found guilty of that felony, he loses his job automatically. He's not the Lake County Sheriff anymore. That's Indiana law. It could be a traffic offense. It could be murder. It doesn't matter. If you're convicted of a felony as an elected official on the spot, as soon as they say guilty, you lost your job automatically.
And we know this in Lake County. 100%.
It happens a lot. It happens a lot.
Happened not that long ago.
It happened to the sheriff.
You're right.
As soon as they say guilty, then a process begins to fill the unexpired term for the sheriff. In this case, I think Oscar, if that did happen, which I don't think it's going to personally,
right?
But if it did happen, Oscar would have 2+ years left on his term. So now this is where the politicians are starting to get active. So you start to hear people talking about what happens if Oscar is found guilty.
Right.
And then if Oscar's found guilty, who's going to become the next Lake County Sheriff? And it's scuttlebutt that started off a little like quiet. And his trial is approaching. I believe it's in October-ish. And
I thought somebody told me February.
It could be.
Yeah.
You could be right. Because I'm sure if I was the sheriff, I would rather bump it every time. I'd rather continue it. If it's let's have it in 5 years.
Yeah.
After my term is over, right? Yeah, right.
Just keep pushing it off.
Just keep pushing it off.
Wait till my term's over. And then
Once my term is over, we could go deal with this, right?
Absolutely,
But in the meantime, we have a special prosecutor that's been hired, and this special prosecutor is from Evansville. And the Lake County taxpayers, pay for this person to drive here, to stay here, to prosecute this freaking traffic offense. So we're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars over a hit trial against a sheriff who's excellent at his job because he drove fast in his sheriff's car one night and didn't pull over when he was attempted to be curbed by a Crown Point cop.
It sounds extreme.
It's fucking insane.
Yeah.
This whole thing is so stupid to me. I am like amazed at the level of stupidity going on and where this has gotten us to this point. But I'm not going to lie to you. I'm sorry, Jill. I didn't mean to cut you off.
You didn't.
Okay. I'm not going to lie. I thought you were about to say something.
Nope.
I've heard people come up to me and say, hey, man, I'm not going to lie. People are like, hey, Tom, if the sheriff is convicted, would you think about running for sheriff? And I say, I don't think the sheriff's going to get convicted. I think this is an exercise in stupidity. I say that almost every time. I don't participate in this bullshit rumor mongering because I like Oscar. I think he's an awesome sheriff and he's a great guy. And it's a fucking travesty what's going on. So I don't want to participate in this bullshit, right? So I've never played any role in this. People speculate. Leave me out of it. That's how I've approached it. I want to support Oscar Martinez in his time of need because he's my friend. That's it, right? So I get a phone call from a reporter. So I'm aware of all this. So the other day I get a phone call from a reporter. And she's like, hey, I heard an interesting rumor that you were running for sheriff. And I'm like, you got to be shitting me. So I'm like, I told her the whole thing. I just told you guys, listen, this whole thing is bullshit. I was an attorney. I handled reckless driving cases. I said hundreds. I don't know if it was hundreds, but I did a lot of them. I was a public defender. That was one of the main charges I handled. None of them. Out of, let's say, a couple hundred I've done. Not one went to trial. Not one resulted in a felony. And I had people literally fleeing from the cops. They all get settled to reckless because of the volume in our court system. We can't prosecute every trial, right?
Of course not.
So we settle them. Oscar's the only one I've ever seen a reckless driving charge get prosecuted as a felony. It's freaking ever. In my opinion, never seen this.
I'm going to assume.
Never, not in Lake County. If you're in like southern Indiana where there's like, this is the crime of the century.
Sure.
Maybe in southern Indiana where they have hardly any cases. In Lake County, Oscar Martinez is being persecuted. This case is a persecution. He's being treated differently than any other defendant in Lake County would be treated in the same exact situation. And it's bullshit. It's bullshit what's going on. We have this special prosecutor that doesn't care about wasting our money. His whole vendetta is to persecute the sheriff. It's not right. It's not right what's going on. It doesn't happen. You talk to any lawyer and they'll back me up on this. What's happening in the Lake County Sheriff is completely atrocious, in my opinion. So I don't participate in this bullshit. I didn't mean to cut you off, Phil. I'm fired up, obviously.
No, I could tell.
No.
Good.
So the reporter calls me. I give the reporter my whole spiel that I'm giving you guys on Lockpod, right? And I wasn't mad at her. Yeah. I'm like, this isn't a story. This is rumors, bullshit rumors. And the sheriff's not going to get convicted. So there you go, right?
Right.
I don't really participate in bullshit excuses. And this is, and I wake up the next day, fucking front page.
There it is.
Above the line, above the fold. Like the biggest story of the day. Lake Dems mole succession plan. And the whole thing, my stupid headphones just fell off. Sorry. I'm all fired up.
Yeah, you are.
The whole story is about if Oscar is convicted, who's going to take over? And I'm like the key player in it. It's like, how fucking clear could I have been?
Right.
That this is not something I've ever talked about. And the worst part is, this is something we had to deal with yesterday, and I'm not trying to slam our chairman, okay? But the first freaking paragraph is like confirmed by the Lake County chairman. The Lake County Democratic chairman says, yeah, people are talking about this, which made it a story. And now it's like Oscar Martinez is on a trial for his life. And there's this huge front page story about what we're going to do when he's convicted and thrown in prison and loses his job.
You know,
it's
one of the
perverse.
one of the first things I notice about this, Tom, is the story headline is Lake Dems Mall Succession Plan. The sub headline right underneath it, all 4 elected officials that are being discussed in this all say they're denying any involvement in any of these talks
Every
whatsoever.
single one.
Because it was totally fake.
Okay, so
this
you have
whole thing is totally fake.
2 sides of the fence. The Dem chairman saying one thing in the article.
Yeah.
And then the 4 people they mentioned saying another.
Which is not good for the chairman. And by the way,
it just doesn't look like a great story. That's all I'm saying.
Because I was mad because it's like, dude, I'm mad because that's my friend, man. Stop talking about Oscar going to prison. Stop talking about Oscar being guilty, because this is not going to happen. It's not right what's happening. We should be supporting this guy, not fucking him in the newspaper, right? Mm-hmm. And for the chairman, and I'm not mad at Jim, but if I was Oscar, I'd be pissed.
I'm wondering if the way he was responding was saying this. Yes, people are talking about this, like if this happened and, you know, these sort of moves could happen. I don't know. Was he saying it like this is absolutely the plan we have in place?
I think he was off the record.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to, when I'm off the record with a reporter, I do go off the record sometimes.
Sure.
But I make it damn clear. Mm-hmm. I'm off the record. And I've never been burned on that. One time, sort of. It was sort of unclear. One time. That was a long, long, long time ago. Like when I first became mayor. Okay.
But you've had voicemails released to the newspaper before.
But those are not off the record. That was not off the record.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I make it clear. I think I'm going to give Jim credit. And Jim's a friend and a supporter. I love Jim and his family. Like, I've known Jim for a long time. I'm going to say I think Jim was probably talking off the record, and he probably didn't make it clear, or something happened between him and that reporter, and the reporter ran with the story. Because it's a big, sexy story. It sounds great, man. There's this huge plan to replace Oscar, and I'm going to become the sheriff, and I would look silly in the sheriff's hat. Don't we all agree?
So the 4 of you that are allegedly vying for this position, do any of you have any law enforcement
not the same position.
No.
I do have law enforcement experience, for the record.
Yeah, by the way,
I'm not a cop, but I do. I'm the boss of the...
Let me jump in here. I don't want Tom responding to himself. Yeah. It does not surprise me at all that people would be out there saying Tom would be an excellent sheriff.
I work with the cops.
That part does not surprise, because he's one of the people that are out front
100%.
defending the police nonstop, giving them technology that a lot of the other communities, maybe they can't afford, or they're just, I don't know. But he's always been in the forefront of police work. And not only that, but prosecuting people after they get charged with a crime. I think Tom would be an amazing sheriff, and I'm not saying that for a newspaper article.
Yeah. No, feels like, let's get rid of this guy.
No. Well, no.
Off the record,
yeah.
So that doesn't surprise me. That
doesn't
part of it.
There's going to be a story like if Tom leaves as sheriff, this is what's going to happen in Hammond. Phil's going to do this, and then.
But I will back you up on it, because you and I have briefly talked about Oscar.
That's not about this. But
you've always said this is BS. What's going on with Oscar? Mm-hmm. He's not going to be found guilty. Right. You don't think so? Kevin, I don't think so. The Compass doesn't think so. He told me that.
I think it's a travesty if we remove one of the best sheriffs we've had in decades over a freaking traffic offense.
Right.
We're literally going to ruin a good man's career. A good man who's done good things for the Lake County Sheriff. He's done good things over a freaking, because you drove too fast. And there's a discrepancy on whether you fled because one officer shined his lights, the other one shined his lights, and then both terminated pursuit. And then you had the audacity to keep driving.
Yeah, that's the question. Is there evidence that none of us are aware of that's going to be brought out in
I'm
court?
sure there's
or
plenty
something?
of evidence we're not aware of, but I just think, honestly, Phil, if you did the exact same thing in your police cruiser,
Yep.
because you drive a police cruiser for work, right?
Well, I have a Explorer that
Explorer.
looks like
a
police
cop car,
Yeah,
right?
it does. It does.
So let's say something similar happened to you,
yeah,
right? It wouldn't be charged this way.
that's the difference.
That's
right.
true. If it was Phil Talon,
Right.
they'd be like, okay, reckless driving.
Nobody would have charged
And
me
by the
with
way,
anything else.
At the very beginning, this has been going on for a couple of years. This has been going on since before he ran for this term. So this is probably year 3? He's been going through this. Like, if Phil Talon had this happen last night, you'd be done with this whole process in a month. You would be offered a plea bargain. You'd be like, do I want to go to trial over whether or not I was reckless when I was driving 90? You're like, no, I would rather not go to trial on that. So I will take your plea bargain. And they would be like, Phil, you've never had a crime before, so we're going to offer you a deferral, which says if you're a good boy for a year and you get no further criminal charges, we'll drop this off your record. You have to pay like $300 for that. And Phil's like, dude, I'll pay $300 and I'm not going to get a criminal charge because I've never had a criminal charge. So in 1 year, Phil, not only would you be done with the process, it would be off your record like it never happened.
Yeah, you said maybe within 30 days.
Let's say 90% of defendants would be offered that. The other 9% that aren't offered that is because they have bad records.
Right.
And the judge isn't going to give them that good deal, right? Oscar has a clean record. He should be part of the 90%. But nope, politics. Nope, you're the sheriff. It's different. We're gonna persecute you because we don't like you politically. That's what's going on. Let's be honest.
Being an elected official puts you in a different category, and you subject yourself to this type of stuff.
That's what's going on.
Yeah,
that's what's going on. This is politics.
Yep.
Even the special prosecutor has dirty hands in this. The special prosecutor has dirty hands also. He's playing politics also. Oscar's just trying to stay in his job. All these people that are coming after him, it's all politics. Even the fact that there's a special prosecutor in this case is bullshit. Even the fact, why isn't the Lake County Prosecutor's Office taking this case? That's bullshit too. Like, that's a freaking reckless driving. Who cares? It's not a murder.
Right.
It's a reckless driving.
Well, you know a lot more about this than the rest of us, that's for sure.
This whole thing is a waste of time, a waste of money. It makes Lake County look like shit because we got another sheriff under trial. It's a damn disgrace. It's a damn disgrace what's going on. And I certainly don't participate in this bullshit, what's going on with the sheriff. I don't participate. If we remove him, it's a humongous failure in our part, a humongous failure. And the media should be getting involved in this because Oscar's being treated differently than anybody else. If the managing editor of the Times got the same charge, it would have been done years ago. The only person that's not is Oscar, and that's politics.
And there you have it.
Sorry.
This is why this is the most dangerous podcast in the Midwest.
It's true, man. It's true.
You seem surprised that the article was written too.
It made no sense.
Because it's really just a rumor. You
It's
made
a
an
rumor.
article out of a rumor.
Well, it was confirmed by the chairman.
Well,
that's what got it on the front page. The chairman said, "Yep, this is happening," which it's not happening. Maybe it has nothing to do with me and the whole. But that's what was the link.
It was a very specific line of succession.
Everything was accounted for.
Every move is done already.
It's
Right.
like, what
Sorry,
is
voters,
going on?
you don't matter, right? It's like,
It
dude,
should be a
that's
mini
such-
series. Like, somebody needs to write this up and
Yeah.
shop
Right?
it to
Agree.
HBO or something.
Yeah, it's all bullshit. All right, let's talk about some overseas controversy. This is a good one. When I was in Ireland, I was watching this story unfold in real time. It was right after we were there, right after the Women's World Cup. And in the Women's World Cup, the Spanish team. Jill, did you watch the Women's World Cup?
Not a whole lot.
The Spanish team, I believe, got bronze. They medaled, and it was a big deal. They were super proud of their team. It was a big moment for Spanish women's soccer. And the president of Spanish women's soccer is a gentleman named Luis Rubiales. He was the coach, suspended head of the Spanish Soccer Federation. During the awards ceremony, has one of his star players come up, and Jenny Hermoso comes to the stage, and he grabs her by the head and forcibly kisses her on stage. And this is on national TV. This is on worldwide TV. And he's literally it's not like an embracing, like a nice little peck.
Yeah.
It's like grabbed her by her ears, hard, and kissed her forcibly on the stage. And she's just sort of standing there what the, I'm
What's
just up
going
here trying to shake your hand. I just got an award, and this guy literally blasts a kiss on her on national TV, on worldwide TV.
Right, and he's saying that he did it in a moment of jubilation. It overtook him, and he just was so excited,
Right.
kind of thing.
So the thing that happens though, Phil, is this whole It was basically he was pressed with charges, I believe. I'm trying to.
I think so. I think
Oh, wow.
because
I didn't see that.
she's accusing him of sexual assault.
Thank you.
Whoa.
Yes.
Well, at first it said, I think it was like scuttlebutt raised by the media. They were like, dude,
Yeah.
did you really have permission to do that? And he said, yeah, it was consensual. He
Yes.
said that before anybody even talked to Jenny.
Right.
He's like, yeah, we're on the stage. It's consensual, right? And then they went up to her and she's like, I had no idea it was about to happen. And then it was like, boom, it was a moment.
Right.
And they're like, huh, is this?
Well, he has a history. I don't think this is the first time he did something like this either. I thought I read.
Look, here it is. He literally, it was a real quick kiss. Do that. Could you play that part again?
Seemed jubilation. Yeah.
Okay, so they're all up there. They're going by. He doesn't kiss everybody, though. Yeah, it was a quick kiss. It was like a,
Wow.
God, dude. Okay, that's the first time I saw it. I saw the picture where
I
he's
never
literally.
saw that either.
It was real quick.
Yeah.
It was literally like, if I would kiss Phil like that.
Yeah.
Why would you?
I want you to kiss me like that.
I would grab your ears and I would just peck you on the cheek. That's
Let's
what
say
it was.
I did something good that day,
Uh-huh.
like a project finally came to completion or something.
Uh-huh.
Give me a kiss, man.
Come in my office. Like, we hardly ever, like, it's usually like emails and
Okay.
stuff. Like, I've never even given an opportunity to kiss you
Okay,
like
I'm
that.
glad you said that.
Okay.
All right.
But, like, so it's like, oh, my God, this is a tough one, man.
It's hard, right?
It's tough.
Yeah, this is a
It's
tough
tough.
one. So he gets suspended by FIFA. What does FIFA stand for? It's the Federation,
Federation
of Soccer.
of International
Federation.
Football Association.
Yeah,
There you
yep,
go.
yep.
Federation
Boom.
International Football Association.
Yep.
Suspends him. So he just accomplished something that hasn't been accomplished in women's soccer in Spain and
Yeah.
ever.
He accomplished it.
Well, excuse me. You're right. As a coach.
As guys usually do.
Slow
You're
down
right.
there,
Totally
Tonto.
right. Thank you, Joe. You were
He
totally
didn't
right.
kick one single ball into
You're
the
right.
goal.
You're right. But he was part of the team, right? Because
Yes.
even the coach and even the they're all a team, but he's not the player. I totally acknowledge.
Yeah.
Did I recover sufficiently?
Sure.
Okay. So he was part of a team that put together this, and then he kissed one of his players without authorization, and he was under immense pressure to resign as the head of the Spanish Soccer Federation, and he was digging in, and he was like rebelling. I was out in Australia, I was out in Ireland, and I was like, holy crap, like this guy's digging in, and he's like, nothing happened wrong. And then his mom went on a hunger strike. Nobody's even talking about that.
Wow.
Everybody was like covering his mom hasn't eaten in like 5 days.
What?
And I'm out there in Ireland, and then I flew back to America. Nobody's talking about it. I was like caught up in the controversy. So now starts coming over. I don't even know what happened to his mom.
Well,
Dude.
soccer in those countries are taken a little bit more seriously than they are in
Well,
United
didn't the
States.
whole team resign?
Yes.
Yeah.
They were about to, yeah. It was really,
What?
yeah.
Over
They were about to play a game, and they said none of us are showing up, right? Because
in support of the coach?
This guy must have been
No.
a dick, right? Honestly,
They weren't going to play for
I
him.
think you're onto something.
I
right
think he
there.
was a dick, and the
Wow.
players are like, "This is our chance to get rid
They
of him."
didn't like him. He made him. Well, I'm not. He did something that was stupid,
It was stupid.
and they're taking advantage of it.
That would be like me going up to Alex and just grabbing her by the ears and kissing her. I just don't do that.
But would
It's
she
frowned upon.
file sexual assault against you?
Maybe she should.
Yeah.
Because that's totally inappropriate. If the office is totally inappropriate. Now, if our office just won like the national championship of mayor offices, and Alex walked up to me and I grabbed her and I kissed her real quick.
Still
It's a
not
different-
appropriate.
Not appropriate, but different situation, right?
Right.
But
like,
still not appropriate.
I agree with you, but Hammond's mayor office just won the national championship for mayor's offices. Alex comes up, tells me, and I'm like, hey! And I like grab her and I kiss her.
and
Yeah.
in the moment,
Inappropriate.
you're not even thinking.
Nope, I'm just like, I
Boom.
grab her by the ears and I just kiss her real quick. Because it was quick like that. It wasn't like tongue involved. It wasn't like groping and making out. He literally grabs her by the ears and just goes like that.
And why did he only pick her? Like, why? If because
She was good looking. She was.
I mean, I'm just being honest.
I
Why-
agreed. She
if
was
He was in jubilation. Why wasn't with every girl that?
Because
was
I noticed that the girl before him, he didn't kiss her.
Yeah,
And then this one comes up. She's very attractive. He kissed her.
it's a little different.
Yeah.
So there's some other
He's a
factors
creeper.
here that we need to be paying attention
I
to.
wonder.
Well, they were also trying to force that player to like retract what she said,
Right.
and her family was getting all kinds of
Like this,
pressure.
the Federation
So
was trying
this
to,
isn't
right?
the first time this guy did something creepy like this.
Do
Yeah?
we know that
Obviously.
for sure?
Allegedly. Put your disclaimer up.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's
Jill's got a feeling.
okay.
This is tough, though.
John, what do you think? I want John to.
I think if there was something that was done that two parties didn't agree with, or one of the other parties, whatever happened to just going to someone in private saying I didn't like what you did, it's all of a sudden just this huge spectacle. Everything is just a huge spectacle.
Everybody's
Is
got a
Tom
platform.
running for sheriff? Everything's just a spectacle, man. For what? Why?
It's like everybody's got a platform with their social media,
Yeah.
you know? And I imagine Jenny, the player, has millions of followers because
I'm sure
she's on the Spanish soccer team and she's very attractive and she's super talented. And like, I imagine she's got a huge following. So like if she comes out and says something on social media, it's instantly everywhere. It's instantly everywhere. Even in America, it's everywhere, right?
Whether you agree or disagree, does this guy's life need to be ruined? Does his mom need to go on a hunger strike?
That's his mom's choice to starve herself to death.
Okay,
I
but
wonder what happened with that.
I guess you guys can answer this question, Jill. Should his life be ruined?
Was his
of
life
this?
ruined? He lost his job. I mean, should he have lost his job?
Worldwide infamy.
Well,
This guy, did he sexually assault this soccer player?
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks from now, though, John, he'll just be a footnote. I mean, nobody's going to be, we're so short-sighted these days. Until you Google him.
Yeah. Right.
But, think about how many times this happens, and then within a week, we're on to the next story, and you
I
forget
know,
about
but
that.
we've Googled employees before, Phil.
Oh, for sure. You're right. That's true.
Like, we'd be like about to hire somebody, and then somebody comes walking in with the story, and you're like, oh.
So when he
didn't know that.
when he applies for the rugby association, they're like, well, I don't know.
He's wearing a mustache. He's trying to look a little different.
Yeah.
But I guess what John's saying is if he truly did this out of just pure jubilee and it just happened, should his life completely go to...
It's certainly, to me, it looks like it. But was there a sinister motive? Like, this is my moment on camera in front of the world.
I don't think so.
To kiss this woman that I've
Agree.
always wanted to kiss. It just doesn't really make sense to me.
I just think guys got to keep their damn hands in themselves, man.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
One of my buddies, Marty, who's a very wise man. I was in the Navy with him. We were talking about this issue, and we were in Florida together. And Marty said, all I know is if I was in Arkansas and Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders reached out to me on national TV and kissed me without my authorization, I'd be super pissed about it. I was like, that's a very good point, Marty.
True.
So I decided to mention it on the show. It's
Well,
true because she's in a position of power, and then she like grabs you and you work for her, and she's like. And you'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Right? You'd be like, "Where did that come from, Governor?" Right? I know guys would be like that, but we expect women when they get kissed without our authorization to just be like, "Hey, what's the matter?"
Well,
right, Joe? That was
Guys,
very
don't do that.
Well,
right.
hold on,
that was
hold
very
on.
good, right? I recovered well.
You did.
Thank you.
So, like,
Stuck the landing.
if you
Stuck the landing.
if a woman did this to a guy, you're saying it might be different?
I think if Sarah Huckabee Sanders, I worked for Arkansas. And I was like staffing her or something, and then I'm on stage, and she like grabbed me and kissed me, and everybody in the world saw it. I have a feeling I'd be like, "That's bullshit."
Well,
Governor.
if you file sexual assault charges against her, you're going to be ridiculed. What? This dude couldn't handle a little kiss from
I'm
a
gonna
woman?
get paid too, bro.
But you know what I mean? Like,
All right, let's do some ads.
Yep.
And then we'll come back, and we got a couple little quick stories on the way back, and a great ending segment that'll brighten your day.
That's
So,
right. Not about Tom on a CPAP machine.
This is a great recommendation if you ever want to go home early from work. It's a great strategy. Like you're sitting there and you're like, what could I do to get out of here? Man? It's beautiful.
This will work.
This will work. Okay.
I will say this: I could have used this information,
Yeah, I know.
over the last couple of years. There's been a couple moments.
If this
where-
ever happens at work, I'm going to know what's up.
yeah, now you'll know.
All right, Rogers Roofing. When you demand nothing but the best from your home and your family, trust the industry leader, Rogers Roofing. For over 54 years, they've been transforming homes in Northwest Indiana and throughout Chicagoland. Their commitment to quality shines through in their roofing, siding, gutters, and windows, all backed by the most comprehensive warranties in the business. Visit our website at rogersroofing.com or call 219-933-9145 to schedule your free consultation. That's rogersroofing.com, 933-9145. And remember, at Rogers Roofing, excellence is expected every time.
Tortillas Nuevo Leon. Tortillas Nuevo Leon sets the gold standard in Mexican cuisine across the Midwest. Look for their iconic red and white label at your local grocery store. Indulge in the finest Mexican products crafted with local expertise and savor the taste of authenticity. Discover the flavors of Tortillas Nuevo Leon today.
Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón. Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón.
Powering Indiana Lake County, IBEW Local 697 and NECA proudly introduce Powering Indiana Lake County. With over a century of experience, they've been safely wiring the region. From powering corporations along the lakefront to lighting up homes across the region, Powering Indiana Lake County is your trusted source for electrical professionals. Visit JACT697.org to join us as we continue to light the way for Northwest Indiana.
Misprint Printing. Elevate your brand with Misprint, the premier printing and sign solution in Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana. With a 30-year legacy of excellence, their experienced team led by Rick Baltensberger combines innovation and technology to deliver top-quality signs and printing, always on time, always within budget. Visit them at misprintindiana.com to bring your vision to life to bring your vision to life today. Misprint, your partner for creating impactful and visual solutions.
Boom.
Thanks to our sponsors. Use them.
And steel business cards or metal business cards.
I know.
Yep.
Vez sent me an interesting story idea the other day, and it fit perfectly in with something I've been saving up for the show, and I decided to merge them together. So, Vez, you want to talk a little bit about your idea?
Yeah, I saw an interesting picture that is from like a Google search result showing two headlines just 3 months apart. And this is it. I'm going to throw it up on the screen now.
June 16, 2023. The other one was from
just
about
like, let's say a week ago.
Yeah.
So June 2023, U.S. national debt tops $32 trillion for the first time. 3 months later, U.S. national debt tops $33 trillion for the first time. $1 trillion in 3 months.
Same newspaper.
Same newspaper.
Same exact headline. 3 months apart, 2 months apart. The only difference was the number. It went from 32 trillion to 33 trillion.
1 trillion in 3 months. Yeah.
And that related to my story that I was saving up for this show about, because I mentioned I believe the stock market's in for a large drop. It's been dropping lately. I don't know if this is the drop, but I still think the stock market's going to get nailed. Okay. I made a prediction in February, and it really hasn't turned out true yet. I said the S&P is going to hit 3,600 one more time. Right now it's at about 4,300, and it got up to as high as 47. So I was like, I'm getting my ass kicked because I'm short. But one of the stories I was holding back was that the credit agency Fitch, while we were on break, downgraded the United States debt, the U.S. credit, from AAA to AA positive, which goes ignored by 99% of Americans. Yeah. But our debt is getting downgraded for a lot of reasons because of deteriorating civil discourse is what they said, which are another one, repeated threats of government shutdown, repeated threats of defaulting on our debt. Mm-hmm. It's like the fact that, we're about to shut down. The government's going to shut down in like 8 days. And all this shit's happening. And in the meantime, we're racking up trillions of dollars of new debt. And in the meantime, our politicians in D.C. aren't doing anything to fix it other than fight with each other and shut the government down. We're in a bad spot. We are in a bad spot financially in America. That's just, I pay a lot of attention. I'm a finance major. I read the Wall Street Journal every day of my life. I'm a big stock market geek. I'm telling you, what's going on in our country right now is a disgrace. It really is. Our national debt is out of control. $33 trillion. We literally added $1 trillion in a couple months.
Not just that, the consumer level too. Like loan defaults are as high as they were. The last time they were this high was before the recession, the 2008 recession. For the first time, like the average car payments, like over $700, $800. It's getting really weird out there. So.
Isn't it fair to say that the national pandemic has certainly thrown our economy into some shaky territory that you don't typically get into?
Yeah. We're in my opinion, we're much more reliant on the federal government. Even
Agreed.
Locally, Phil, look at you and I just got done spending, you and I and the council came up with a plan to spend $50 million from the federal government. And we're doing great things in Hammond with that $50 million. And I thank the council for working with the administration and getting it done. But that's amazing. All the work that's going on in America, it's because of the federal government. And that costs money. And we got to get control of our finances.
It's both parties, right?
For sure, dude.
But it's the reason we've been dealing with the inflation.
There's no doubt it's both parties because, of course, Democrats are, they do like to rack up debt. And they do like to make government bigger. And Trump is one of the biggest tax and spend Republicans in history.
Huge.
Yeah, in history. Literally, he doubled the size of our national debt. And he's supposed to be this conservative Republican, So everybody in D.C. is atrocious, in my opinion.
Well,
Everyone. And that's the best point. Sorry, Phil. The best point you said, Tom, in my opinion, was no one in D.C. is taking this seriously.
Yeah.
They may say they are, but they're not. Like, for example, Gates, who's saying a lot of cool things in Congress right now about going after McCarthy. I'm worried he's just doing it because he's going to run for Florida governor. Do any of these people really believe what they're saying in D.C.?
I don't think so. I think that,
Same.
Right. Honestly, I think that they're worried about the next election. That's all they're worried about.
100%.
Yeah, they don't care about what's going on. Like, let's say Frank, our congressman.
Mm-hmm.
Frank goes there, and he's, three years into his career, right? And let's say some huge Social Security reform bill came before Frank, and it was going to require pain. It was going to raise the age of Social Security. It was going to require painful cuts. Frank, and I'm not just using Frank as an example. I'm just saying he's only 3 years in. Does he really want to take this horribly tough vote that's going to piss off a huge percentage of his constituents, but it's going to help the Social Security system? Frank would be like, if I vote for this, I'm dead. Somebody's going to be like Tom McDermott, or somebody's going to run against me, and they're going to like piss off the AARP and say Frank voted against Social Security, and then he's done, right? So what's Frank inclined to do? Fuck that. Like, just keep on adding it on, baby, because I want to keep my ass alive, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, it seems like any bill that comes in front of anybody these days, one political party takes one side, the other political party takes the other. It doesn't matter what's right or wrong anymore.
Yep.
It's all about us versus them. It's who's going to win the next election. We
It's
stopped
not about
being
the country.
Americans. We
Right.
stopped a long time ago.
It's not about a country.
No.
It's about a team.
Yes.
We want the next presidency. We want to control the House. We want to control the Senate. We got to do everything we can to do that, including make the other side look bad, including blocking the president's agenda.
Yep.
Like, seriously, whatever president you are, you have a built-in core of people in Congress who you need that are doing everything they can to slime you, to get you indicted, to impeach you.
Yeah.
This whole thing, honestly, John, this whole thing with Biden's impeachment, do you think that's appropriate? I mean, honestly, I'd never talked to you about it.
Actually.
So, like, basically every president's going to be indicted now, impeached, right?
That I am troubled about is we've opened this Pandora's box of lawfare.
How did we open it? We had an asshole for a president that deserved to be impeached. Bill Clinton got impeached for getting a blowjob, man.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
No, but I thought that was over the top too, but I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
I think our grandparents are rolling over in their graves, because back in the day, there was this political fighting. There certainly was back and forth, but there was compromise, and there was the right thing to do for the country, because we wanted to be stronger than all the other countries. We want to be better than Russia and China and even everybody in Europe. We want to make sure that we're the strongest country out there. And nowadays, it's all about political party. We stopped focusing on the country. And I don't know that we're ever going to get back.
Have you guys seen the latest caravan coming through the southern border?
I know it's bad. It's bad.
And then the buses, the shipments going to New York, they've had enough. Chicago's had enough.
I agree with you, man. That was actually a really good strategy. I mean, it's horrible what they're doing, but it's a really good strategy, because they're taking the border problems right to Chicago, right to New York.
Yeah.
Right to Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, like, can both parties just get together on anything, even this?
I agree
and
with
say,
you.
We have to figure this out. 3.5 million immigrants since Biden became president.
Right.
We have to figure this out.
But John, why would the Republicans want to work with Biden? Because they want to use that issue to defeat him in the next election. So if they fix it, then
I don't disagree.
I know. It's like our system is destined to fail. Because the people in the system aren't thinking about the country; they're thinking about the next election and what they could do to defeat the president. It has nothing to do with making America a stronger country. It has to do with winning.
Remember, there was a bill that was I don't know the exact details, but it was about helping veterans that were burned from a
the
war.
burn pit exposure. Yeah,
and the Republicans voted against it.
That happened during my race
because it would have been a win for the Democrats.
Right,
It's like, no, this is about people.
Right.
So I know what you're saying
Exposed
about
to toxic burn pits.
We've
the
lost
PACT
it.
Act.
We've lost our way. The
I
PACT
agree.
Act. We lost our way.
Yep.
I'm
For
telling
sure.
you.
Yeah.
All right. Now that we've depressed everybody,
Yes.
I'm going to close out the show on excellent advice on what to do to go home early from work. But before we go to this excellent advice, what to do to get out of work early, I want to say thank you, Jill. It's great to see you again.
Yay.
Yay. Jay Vez, appreciate you.
Thanks.
Phil, thanks for covering the Compass.
Thanks for inviting me.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
And coming to you from the Locomotive, we appreciate you. This was season 10, episode 5, right?
Yep.
Wow. We're moving right along. We'll be back on Tuesday with another excellent show. The Compass should be back. And like I said, this is a funny little TikTok on the way out. What to do to get out of an obligation early.
You not want to be at work today? Just shit your pants. Shit your pants. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? You just shit yourself. Shit your pants. And then go home. And have a good day off. That's what I would do.